All right, Rick, we're in the SCP. We're in the ringside studio here. Do this show every Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time, but we're in the studio kind of on a different night tonight. Rick, what are we doing in this ringside studio tonight?
Well, we're going to be having an interview with Damian and Lilith Blood, the tag team of Bloodlust, regarding what they're going to be doing on July 24th at Headlocks and Heatwaves. SCP presents Headlocks and Heatwaves live from Jake's Back Room in Lubbock, Texas.
Yes, we do, and the Bloodlust over here's got a tag match coming up. It's with a gentleman named Tony Morales and an unnamed opponent that's going to be happening. None of us have heard the unnamed opponent yet, but you two have got a match against him and his opponent. We've also got the SCP Tag Team Championship out on the fringes over here. So my question to you guys is, why Tony and why now?
Well, Mr. NL, that's a good question. It's been over a decade since we've had anything to do with Morales. Several of our fans know that we all used to work together in a promotion called West Texas Wrestling Association in Amarillo, Texas. And, in the sense that, I'm trying to be completely open and honest with this, he was our head trainer. He was the one that ran the school, and honestly, he was the one that trained my wife. The thing that I don't really understand is, like you said, why now? It's been over a decade. He bolted on us as soon as he could. He ran back to Colorado so fast that you would have thought that a coyote was chasing his ass. My issue really stems from the fact that when it comes to tag teams, he's been in dozens of teams. But he's such a shit bag that every time something doesn't go his way, he's the one that runs. He's the one that turns on whoever he has, supposedly watching his back, like a tag team is supposed to. It's supposed to be you and your partner versus everybody else. It's us versus them. Us versus the world. Let's see. Let's name some of the tag teams. There was the original Knockout Kings with the Alpha Wolf Rage. There was the Contract Killers with my brother-in-law, Rex Reed. There was the Celebrities with you. I know I'm leaving some out.
Shockley Dynasty. The Young and the Reckless. There's been a few others. I mean, the most recent one and the obvious one, the one the SCP fans know about, is Vanity, who just suddenly disappeared.
And I'm telling you, he had something to do with that. I don't know when, where, how, what, but he is the reason that Vanity is gone.
It kind of looks like to me the picture that you two are painting of Tony Morales is that he starts something, then destroys it.
Yeah, that's a good observation. He's got this title match promised for 2022. He won himself a match where he is going to get a guaranteed shot at the SCP championship. Good for him. We are the only team in SCP that hasn't been beaten. And my issue really is he picked a fight with us by coming out and running his trap about chain wrestling and deathmatch. And I firmly believe the reason he ran back to Colorado is because it is such a landfill of deathmatch. And that's coming from me. I'm the resident hardcore guy. Or, well, that's the way I'm perceived. He
Right.
ran back to Colorado so that he could be the best wrestler in the area without having to put forth any effort.
Well, I also know at the last event that we had back in May, he came out, and that's kind of what created this whole match and everything that's going to be happening here at Headlocks and Heat Waves. But Lilith, do I remember right that you and him were actually a tag team at one point?
We were actually in that same promotion that he was talking about a minute ago, West Texas Wrestling Association, on September 26th of 2009. That was our second time that we won the tag titles. That was our longest run with them. And before we even lost them, he threw a fit. He turned on me, took out my knee, and started about probably 5 or 6 month feud with me where him and Rex tried to end my career. They left me laying in the ring waiting on the ambulance with blood running out of my mouth. And that didn't end well for him. So I don't know if that's part of why he's got such a bug up his ass right now. Maybe he feels like he still owes me one. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of history there. And I think he doesn't realize the hornet's nest that he stirred up with me.
Well, and that's one of the last questions I want to ask you, too, is obviously this match is coming up. Obviously, you two get to game plan. And I think that you two have probably the biggest advantage out of any tag team in anything because you live together. Yeah. You could talk nightly about things, come up with ideas. What does Mr. Tony Morales and his said-to-be partner have coming?
Well, see, that's the thing, Mr. NL. I feel more sorry for his tag partner than I do for him because, yeah, he kicked a hornet's nest. But who is he going to get to watch his back? Anybody that knows anything about anything knows how much of a shitbag he is. So, unfortunately, it's probably going to be some poor green kid that doesn't know any better, that doesn't know who Tony Morales really is. And I promise you, that poor kid is going to get left in the ring with the only undefeated tag team in SCP. Because I promise you, it's almost like I can see the future. He's going to screw whoever he has watching his back. That's just who he is.
Kind of like I said, was starting something and destroying it.
Exactly. And that's the thing is we started this with one goal in mind, and that was to win the SCP Tag Team Championships. And now we have to focus on something else. But that's not really that big of a deal because if we have to beat Tony Morales to further what we need to do, then that's what we're going to do. It doesn't matter if it's Tony Morales and El Gringo Loco. It doesn't matter if it's Tony Morales and Justin Taylor. It doesn't matter. It's just another obstacle, another hurdle that Bloodlust is going to get through because that's what we do.
Well, I have been at just about every event that you two have wrestled at, and I've been even there before you formed Bloodlust, this current tag team version that you got. You guys steamroll people that get in the ring with you. The crowd definitely thinks a lot of you two over there, so I would say that you're the fan favorites coming into this event. Hoping the best, and I'm curious to see who Tony brings to the plate here to get to compete with you guys, and I'm excited for the show.
I can't wait. And I know she's looking forward to, caving some heads in.
Always.
Well, I would ask Rick over here if he had any questions, but he doesn't have a mic in front of him, so he must have retired his mic. I don't know what he did. Well, here he goes. So, Rick, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask him before we ended this little deal?
The only thing that I really want to say is that I was happy to sign this match because regardless of the personal vendetta or the personal feelings between all these guys, trust me, I was there for all of it. Yeah. I know what went down, and I know what the past is. But for our present, for right now, for the SCP fans and the SCP faithful who are going to be there on July 24th at Headlocks and Heatwaves to see this event, just knowing that these three individuals, and whoever this mystery partner is going to be, that these three individuals are going to be in the ring at the same time. I'm telling people right now, whether you're live at Jake's on the 24th, whether you're watching on internet pay-per-view at www.heckyeahradio.com, I'm telling you right now, this match is going to be the sleeper match of the show. This is going to be the match that you're going to want to pay attention to, because not only is everybody in this ring that we know of 100% capable of handling their business, this is personal. This is emotion. This is something that you can sink your teeth into as far as, an emotional situation. And that makes for the best wrestling. And so I'm super excited for it. And I need everybody to understand that this is not going to be for the faint at heart.
You might want to make sure that we've got a little bit of extra medical staff there, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. So in closing, we've got this match set for July 24th, SCP, Headlocks and Heatwave. Plus, there's many other things that are going to happen on this show, so please be there. Like Rick said, if you can't be there, go to heckyeahradio.com, click the link. You can actually purchase this thing right now, pre-order it right now. That way you're locked in. So in closing, Bloodlust, do you have anything to close this thing out with?
No, not really. I just hope he's ready to step in the ring with a couple of no good bastards.